It's good to see you this morning. The cold front didn't get the memo that it's spring, for crying out loud. I want to share with you a reading that's in our gray hymnal, a bit of Psalm 98. Oh, sing a new song to the eternal. Shout praise, all earth. Break into music and song. Praise the eternal with the lyre. Let the sea and all within it thunder praise. And the world and its inhabitants, let rivers clap their hands. Let mountains sing in chorus. Oh, sing a new song to the eternal. Let's sing hymn number 187, Hush. It's in the gray hymnal. Please rise as you are able in body and or spirit.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to First Parish in Milton. My name is Elise Henricks, and I'm a member of our worship committee. If you're having trouble hearing us, please raise your hand here in the meeting house or message us in the chat function of Zoom. We've been working on making sure that the hearing devices all work, so if you're having trouble, please let us know. Thank you. We are so glad that you have chosen to be here with us this morning or to join us virtually. However your journey, whatever your heritage, and whomever you love, you are welcome here. Your presence here on Sunday morning enriches worship for everyone. This sanctuary is made holy by your presence. If you're joining us for the first time, special welcome. You will find information about First Parish in your pew, and Brigitte, who is our greeter in the back, or I will be happy to answer any questions you might have. Any of us would be happy to walk you to social hour after the service. The work of living our faith is done both in and out of worship, so you can see the printed announcements that came with your order of worship or were emailed to you in the weekly link. There's a few items of note. You may have seen the sign out front, but we want to make sure you're aware that this Friday, for the first time since before COVID, we'll be having a Tenebrae service in the Children's Church at 7 p.m. It's a slow, contemplative service, and we will hear the last 7 words of Jesus, followed by a mixture of prayer, poetry, music, and silence. Everyone is welcome. If you have any questions, please reach out to Louise, Reverend Lisa, or I'm also involved in planning that service, so please do join us. There is a change to the Circle Suppers. The brunch that was scheduled for Saturday, March 30th has been canceled, but there are still 2 other opportunities to sign up, which are listed in the order of worship. And lastly, and very importantly, please make sure that you're aware of the Swingin' into Spring biannual auction, which will be Saturday, April 6th from 6 to 9. There was an evite sent out this week, so please respond so that they can get a sense of numbers. We're encouraging people to bring a friend outside of First Parish for this event. There are lots of wonderful things that have been donated for silent and live auction, including French lessons, vacation homes, an Adirondack chair, a sermon on the Bible verse of your choice, and a handmade quilt by me. So please do participate as you are able in that. Now let's take a few minutes to greet one another and extend a warm welcome to old friends and new. For those on Zoom, please turn on your video and go to gallery view so that you can say hello to others zooming in.
Hi, Chris. Hi, Mary.
Hi, Dottie. Hi, Chris. Hi, Mike.
Hi, Mike.
This looks like it's hardly the crew aboard.
Lucy, say hi.
Hi, Tasha.
Say hi.
Hello.
Hi, Patricia. Oh, there's Dottie's granddaughter.
Oh, red hair.
Yeah, I got the red-headed dog and the red-haired granddaughter.
Very cute.
How's everybody? Patricia, you're like,
I know. I had to stay home. I had a surgery on Wednesday, and I spent the last 3 days in bed, and I can't get up in the morning because I'm still in pain.
oh,
So Mark's there, and I'm not.
okay. Can we do anything for you?
Oh no, just say hello.
Okay.
That's good.
Guess I'll bring you food or something if you need anything.
Oh, I can't eat very
As we
much.
enter
either.
into worship, please take a moment to make
No.
sure your cell phones
All
are
right,
silenced.
we're back to being serious.
Sorry.
Good to see you guys in
Each
Florida.
Sunday, we light the chalice as a reminder that even in an increasingly, invitation to worship. Now is the moment when we can focus on being here, when we can choose to connect with ourselves and the divine, when we can choose to just be present. And now for our chalice, I'm going to invite up Darla and Sadie, Charlie and Ruth's granddaughters, and Leslie McPherson, who's the chair of our membership committee, to help us light the chalice. I know. Good job. Excellent. Each Sunday, we light the chalice as a reminder that hope, faith, and love still abide. Thank you. Now please join me in our call to worship that is printed on the small laminated card that should be in your pew. Come, let us gather. We gather to celebrate the Savior within and among us. We come to seek spiritual growth and understanding. We strive to practice acceptance, forgiveness, and love. Together we work to build a world of justice and compassion. Come, let us gather together.
So, El Jet Pig really had something that that they needed to say this morning, so I'm going to defer to them. You're welcome.
Thank you so much. This is our friend, Jet Pig. If you don't know what we're talking about, that is very okay and understandable. We have a little graphic in the bulletin in your order of worship that will help you follow along. But LJ stands for a whole bunch of things that are helping us learn about our values as Unitarian Universalists all over the country. And so we have an L in L Jet Pig's name, and L stands for love, and we have a J, and J stands for yes, and we have an E, and E stands for equity, and we have a T, and T stands for transformation, and we have a P, P pluralism, and we have an I stands for interdependence, and we have a G, and G stands for generosity. And those are a lot of things, and we're all learning them together. But today, E is for equity, and so I'm wondering if I have any friends who might want to help me figure out what is in L Jet Pig's backpack. If you want to help me figure it out, come on up to the front. Help me figure it out. Oh, it's so. I don't. Okay, let's see.
Okay, what's in here?
Come on up. Yay.
Zipper.
Hey, come on in, friends. We got a zipper.
What is zipper? Zipper.
Okay, we gotta open it. Let's see. Wait, let's make sure everyone gets to help out with this. We have a. Let's see.
What is this?
Let's see. Anyone want to open it up?
Me.
Wait, let's make sure all our friends get to help out. Okay, let's see what's inside. Let's see what's inside.
What do you think is inside?
I don't know. It's kind of a tricky container.
Ah, a message.
It's a message. Okay, let's see. Wait.
I want to read it. What's something you need to
Flourish. Thank you so much. What's something you need to flourish? Flourish is kind of a big word. Does anyone want to tell me what does it mean to flourish? Anyone out there want to tell me what does it mean to flourish? Yeah, right. Grow up, to thrive, to be happy. So let's take a few minutes with friends sitting near you, talk to each other. What is something you need to flourish? And then we'll come back together. You can hear me. Okay. Thank you so much, friends. We good on the mic? Cool. Okay. Thank you so much, friends. Anyone have anything that they need in order to flourish, to thrive? Grace, what do you got? Animals. Ooh, fun. Love that. Anyone else feel like they need animals to flourish? That helps them be happy and thrive? Yeah, awesome. Anything else? Music. Anyone resonate with music? Yeah. Needing music to flourish? One other thing. What does someone need to flourish? Quiet time. That's a great one. Anyone else need some quiet time sometimes to flourish? Awesome. Thank you so much, friends. So on that note, our younger friends are going to now go to our morning programming. We sung out. Thank you so much.
So now is the time that we sit in stillness with one another, where we gather in the love and the presence of this space. And let's go ahead and follow what we just went through. And sometimes it's good to start with what, a positive, with what you flourish with, and then breathe it in to your whole body. And we'll do this for a little bit.
Our reading today are words by Dorothée Zala, adapted. I like, as you have noticed, to bring things down to earth. Miraculous loaves, obedient waves, even the deathbeds of children lying asleep. They occur in the stories of ancient people. Go ahead, cut him down to size. Take away the loaves, the sea, the disabled and awkward. You'll get them back when you begin to see with his eyes. Every day, the immobile start out for his kingdom. The blind begin to see. All his miracles become the most natural thing in the world if we make them come about.
Thank you for that music just coming over us. It's lovely. Today is Palm Sunday, as many of you know, a celebration among our Christian siblings of Jesus of Nazareth's entrance into Jerusalem to share his ministry in a place that was dangerous for him to teach. It was said to be a humble entrance. Jesus rides into the city on a donkey or colt, depending on the rendering, with no acknowledgement of the fanfare about him as followers lined along his entrance path. Some believe he was signaling that he was ready to shake up the status quo by his entrance, intentionally arriving without the usual pomp and circumstance of a dignitary, which he had attained by many. He was indeed countercultural. This is why authorities were so unnerved by him, because his message of love and equity could weaken the hold they had on the people. Go ahead, cut him down to size, writes Dorothée Zola. Take away the loaves, the sea, the disabled and awkward. You'll get them back when you begin to see with his eyes. It's hard to see things anew, to change habits, to look elsewhere from what is comfortable, from what is assumed, even from what feels safe. One of the endeavors of beloved community, a term suggested in the new phrasing of Unitarian Universalism, proposed as Article 2 in the bylaws, beloved community is to accept and work through discomfort. This is because radical inclusion means being with people that may cause awkwardness and even fear. When I was shepherding the town-wide community forum for Milton in February on the Gaza turmoil, much of the prep work was fielding conflict and fears of not being seen or heard, even feelings of needing safety from possible violence. What helped guide me and several planning partners was the understanding that a larger hope was involved in this endeavor, a hope of the possibility of civil discourse and a seed of peace. The participants in diverse community, Muslims, Jews, Palestinian Christians, peace activists, brought that hope in and so helped it happen. It was carefully shaped with moderators and facilitators to assure that all the people could be heard and seen. Some wanted more historical and contextual facts from the moderators, but it was intentional that we did not do that, because Gaza, Israel, and its peoples have a highly complex history that spans hundreds, if not thousands, of years. The countless geopolitical stances would have bogged down the 2-hour discussion with whataboutisms and a bramble of differing facts unable to dismantle. The point was for people to find their own authority, their own voice, and their own ability to hear others. To practice this kind of equity and humility and to leave having learned more about themselves and each other. This brief experience of diverse community reignited the aspiration toward dwelling together in peace. Now, it's not everything, but it is an essential foundation for any movement toward a thriving civic life or to beloved community, spoken in faith communities. It's Jesus who first introduced radical inclusion in Western society. He was the original countercultural guide toward equitable peace, which he endeavored unto his death, an astounding gift to us all. The seeds that he planted and the feeling of possibility inspired a movement and spiritual consensus that continues today, birthed by his ministry. Walking into Jerusalem a week before his brutal death, he was saying there is another way to dwell together and to honor ourselves with each other. He was sure not only of that truth, but of our ability to see that truth, even though it was foreign to people at the time. His entrance and steadfast teaching in Jerusalem was new, shocking, intriguing, and uncomfortable. He'd been teaching this for 3 years, ever since his alleged first Sermon on the Mount on the northwestern shore of the Sea of Galilee. Seeing the crowds, so the legend goes, he went up on the mountain, and when he sat down, his disciples came to him, and he opened his mouth and taught them. He proceeded to give a sermon full of principles of relating that could inspire both inner authority and a thriving community. He quoted edicts from the Hebrew Bible and would claim a countercultural truth with the comment, "You have heard this, but I say to you." He was preaching to his disciples to see things anew, to transform the soul ache of unhealthy systems, to choose peace, justice, and humility toward creation. He begins, in fact, with an emphasis toward humility. He started with blessings. Blessed are the poor in spirit, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. Blessed are they who mourn, for they shall be comforted. Blessed are the meek, for they shall inherit the earth. The beginning of his gift of wisdom was affirming people who most likely felt disempowered, hurt, and weak. You are blessed, he said, and not only that, you are closer to the way of spiritual health than others. Now, poor in spirit and meek at that time were affirmations of wise humility in Aramaic. Those who are meek do not put themselves forward inappropriately. Those who are poor in spirit can empty themselves of willfulness and shed preconceived ideas of self-importance. The meek, who pay attention without ego distortions, can then be attentive to the whole. And so they inherit the earth, the way of being that is in harmony with the way of things. And the heaven that the poor in spirit are given comes from the Aramaic word malkutach, which describes a state of being, not a particular place. The kingdom of heaven here described is an ever-present way of seeing that can guide one's life. When Jesus walks into Jerusalem modeling humility, he is demonstrating the way to walk in the world. Saying less, doing less, and honoring more is the way to dwell in creation and fully embrace existence. One's life does not belong to anyone else. A full claiming is important, but without comparing or competing. This kind of humility is wise beyond violence and expansive in understanding. Life in first century Palestine was teeming with diversity. There were varied layers of religious and governmental authority, different travelers from the activity around the Mediterranean, and a large disparity between the rich and the poor, including the unemployable citizens who were lepers, the blind, and the disabled, both physically and mentally. There was a large agricultural culture, lots of trade activity, and a busy schedule of public works commissioned by Herod, who initiated palaces and ports and fortresses and stadiums. Heavy taxation was required, and tax collectors were considered outcasts, traitors, enemies to people's livelihood. The Romans ruled, though Jews were granted some self-government in the practice of religion. During this time, there was a lot of fear and hatred toward Herod among the Jews because he had ordered the massacre of Hebrew baby boys around what we now call the beginning of the Common Era, to basically try and eliminate the baby Jesus, who was feared by Herod to be the Messiah, believed in Jewish lore to free them from oppression and foreign rule. Into this scene came Jesus, a Nazarene who spoke as a religious mystic without apparent lineage or particular training. He taught in the familiar form of a master of wisdom through parables and wisdom sayings. These sayings, though, were different, new, unheard of, and a break from the pietism of the Pharisees and the oppression of Roman rule. Think of it, gatherings of strangers watching this new, compelling teacher speak to his disciples for all to hear. People wondering how to balance their lives, where to find solid ground within the income disparity, how to survive under Roman rule, or simply how to navigate natural human anxieties about survival and life's meaning. This teacher started with blessing, quite a different tack than was common, affirmation, encouraging the understanding and dignity of inborn worthiness, which leads to other countercultural insights. You have it in you, he affirmed, to create a new way of being and seeing if you find your inner authority and regard those you encounter with love for both your friends and what you see as enemies. There is a movement that has been modeled in truth and reconciliation endeavors throughout the world these days that leans into restorative justice, much of what Jesus preached. We, in organizing the forum on the Gaza situation, also leaned into principles of restorative justice to encourage respectful shared being. And let me give you just a few of the principles to get us a feel. 1, listen well and agree to disagree. Listen to understand, not to respond. Try on the speaker's perspective. In dialogue, we seek to hear and understand others' view, whether we agree or not. Unlike a debate, there's no need to prove ourselves right or the other person wrong. Blessed are the meek. 2, practice self-care. This is essential for resilience and to give room for others to do the same for themselves. Do whatever works for you to stay focused, engaged, and open to this discussion. You are the light of the world. 3, create an atmosphere of respect by welcoming others' perspectives and not personally attacking anyone. Blessed are the peacemakers. And 4, share airtime. Speak concisely and with honesty when it is your turn. When someone else is speaking, avoid interrupting or cross-talking. Blessed are the pure in heart. The entire line of this last blessing is, blessed are the pure in heart, for they will see God. This is the ultimate experience of seeing anew. The pure in heart do not go somewhere else to see God, nor does some phantom image suddenly appear. If we become pure in heart, we clear our distortions. We offload our self-deceptions. We release our fears. We enliven our love. When we enter that state of a pure heart, we will see what is named God everywhere, as interconnectedness, as life's affirmation, as universal belonging. There is a Navajo affirmation. There is beauty before me. There is beauty behind me. There is beauty to my left. There is beauty to my right. There is beauty above me. There is beauty below me. There is beauty around me. There is beauty within me. To enter a day or a difficult time with the spirit of blessing and brave humility, we can ground ourselves and balance ourselves in the tumult of our lives with and for each other. So may it be. Amen. Let's sing hymn number 1040 in the blue hymnal, and this time it is Hush. Let us join our hearts in the spirit of prayer. Holy One of all being, hallowed be thy recognition. Let us find within the authority to see the world and earth as one, mutual in belonging, held in joy. There is so much turmoil, hard to list them all. A new one this week in Moscow. Continued turmoil in Gaza, Ukraine, in our with the banning of books and rise of hatred. Let us not despair that this is who we are. We have more within. We fall back on these habits. Let us break through. And a local prayer from Liz O'Rourke for our earth and all its children. And for all the prayers lifted up but unspoken. Let's hold them in love. Amen.
Good morning. I'd like to thank Dottie Pitt on the worship committee for the invitation to speak this morning. If we haven't met, my name is Tucker Smith. I'm married to Hale Smith, handsome man sitting over there, who is my Colorado College boyfriend. We've been married for 48 years. We arrived in Milton in 1979, and much later at First Parish around 2014. Committing to giving a faith reflection is like opening doors. For me, it's doors to memory lane, to conjecture, to appreciation, to understanding. And perhaps to you who are listening, doors to knowing me and our church community, our wider community, more deeply than possible than over a cup of coffee or a Zoom meeting. For instance, Diana Wilson gave a faith reflection last Sunday. I had no clue she served in the Peace Corps in Thailand and Togo. And she joins, I know, Owen Hartford, who served in the Peace Corps in Senegal? Okay, Nigeria, Liberia. Are there any others? Raise your hand if you served in the Peace Corps. Penny, all right. Just saying, sometimes little nuggets are dropped that about which you didn't know. So I'm about to open the door, and so come in, everyone. I think, isn't there a hymn? Come in, open the door, come in, everyone. Come wherever you are, whatever. So come, join me on this journey. So raise your hand if you have experienced a full body baptismal immersion in front of 300 people. All right, I thought so. I was hoping, is that Jim? Yes, Jim May from Alabama? Yes, I hoped it would be. So, well, needless to say, I have. I was coerced into accepting, and these are words that maybe Jim would recognize, into accepting Jesus Christ as my Lord and Savior at age 9 at the First Baptist Church in Bartlesville, Oklahoma. Bartlesville, if you don't know the Midwest or the Southwest, is an oil town. Happens to be about 50 miles northeast of Tulsa, Oklahoma, and in Osage County, both areas made infamous by revealed murderous and racist history. However, I digress. That's for topics for other times. As I was being dunked, the choir sang another hymn, "Softly and tenderly Jesus is calling, calling for you and for me." The minister wore hip waders under his white robe, and I wore a bathing suit under mine. I felt mortified, objectified. It was akin to religious spectacle. But a very positive memory of that upbringing in the Southern Baptist Convention was choir. True to my Welsh roots, I love to sing, and that was my first experience with singing, and I've been singing ever since. So, fast forward now to First Parish, Milton. Here, I feel enriched, buoyed, and grounded. Given that both of my parents and my sister are deceased, you are my family. Our 2 sons, a wife, a boyfriend, 2 grandchildren, and a granddog live 3,000 miles west in the Bay Area. That's a 3 hours time difference. And add stir-in busy lives to that mix, and it's my lonely disconnect. But here I can connect, or have connected in the past, through a few things I think are quite special. Aging Together. It's a group that's trying to make sense of the challenges of aging. Raise your hand if you are a participant in Aging Together. Stick them up there. Okay, look around. Oh, okay, there are a bunch of us. Woohoo! Choir. Making music. Raise your hand. All right, they're all up there. Choir. The Social and Environmental Justice Committee. We're making the near, here, and far more just and equitable. Raise your hand if you're the Social and Environmental Justice Committee. Yep, that's right. Let's see. Membership Committee. Now, I am no longer actively involved in that, but Membership Committee makes belonging here better. So raise your hand if you're membership. Woo-hoo. Yeah. And the 11th Hour Calling. This group makes noise to promote climate action. We've rung the bells, we've had drum circles, we've percussion, what have you. So raise your hand if you have done, woohoo, okay, I think that's the biggest of all. That's very exciting. By doing that, we try to send a message to Town Hall that we need to take climate action planning seriously, and it is. And in fact, we have a member of our official town climate action planning committee who's with us here today. I'm delighted to see and welcome. So together we laugh, we cry, we sing, we savor. Sounds better than saying we eat. We share, we care, we hug, we learn, we work together. To me, that spells commune. We commune. And when I enter any door at First Parish, I feel happy. How do you feel? Thank you.
Thank you so much for that, Tucker. Today's offering is dedicated to the services and ministry of First Parish in Milton. To give, you can follow the instructions that are printed on your order of worship or shown on this little card. If you're in the meeting house, there are also areas to deposit cash or check into the collection plate located at the main entrance or at the door over here. If you are proud of this church, become its advocate. If you care about its future, share our message. We welcome all to build a just and healthy world with faith, love, and compassion. Please support our faith community by giving as generously as you can.
its tail? Will you teach me how to fly, to sail the skies on wings untied? Will you teach me how to soar, to see things never seen before? But most importantly of all, will you teach me how to fall? Will you teach me how to cry, cry, cry? To release those feelings deep inside. Will you teach me how to laugh and travel off the beaten path? Will you teach me how to love, love, with love that comes down from above? Will you teach me how to sing through all the sorrows life may bring? Will you teach me how to dream, to face the future sights unseen? Will you teach me how to dream, the only thing that I can be?
Please join me in the words of our unison dedication. May these gifts be transformed into strength for this faith community, into comfort, food, and shelter for those in need, and may we be transformed by generosity.
And as I extinguish the flame from our chalice, may the flame within of our faith burn bright. May we bring it to those we encountered during the week, the peace that is within, the laughter that is within, and the justice that we know. we're capable of. Have a good week, so may it be. Amen.